So greetings from a snowy Pennsylvania. We got our first, I guess what you could call our first significant snowfall. Nothing extreme. As usual, the predictions were all over the place. You know, 1 to 3, 5 to 12 inches, all that kind of stuff. But here where I live, we got maybe 2 to 3 inches, so more than we've got so far in this season. I know it's not much, but it's our first, like, you could say, significant snowfall. But I'm here at Middle Creek Wildlife Management Area, here on the Lebanon-Lancaster County border. Just gonna go for a little hike here. I think I'm gonna do what's called the Millstone Trail. We've done it before, but I'm just looking for a nice little hike to do here in this snowfall. I think it's around 12 o'clock. It snowed all morning. So let's just go for a little winter snow hike. Yeah, back here, we parked at the, what is this, the White Oak picnic area. Some parking back there. Just cross the road and here's our trail. The Millstone Trail. But the woods just transforms the woods though. It's somewhat of a sticky snow. You can see how it's like sticking to a lot of the trees and stuff. I like when it does that. This will take us up the hill here. There's an overlook up here. And also the reason they call it the Millstone Trail is up here too. I know I've said it in other videos, but the snow just dampens the sound. It's just super quiet out here. But yeah, also, today's January 6th. Just to think that in about a month and a half, right now I'm thinking about spring, but it's kind of hard right now. But in a month and a half, we'll be back here at Middle Creek. Roughly about a month and a half. We'll do that little hike down to the lake where we'll be looking for the snow geese and the tundra swans out there. Waiting to see if they all fly off at once, you know that. And about 2 weeks later, we'll be looking for the wood frogs. Actually, it's the road we just crossed down there is where I always film those puddles of water on the side road. It's just filled with those frogs doing their thing in the spring. So those times are coming. May not feel like it now, but they're coming. Yeah, just some people going by on four-wheelers, which I think is actually illegal on this road, to be honest. But they do it anyway. Kind of disturbed my peace out here. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I talked to one of the game wardens here once, and he said they're a problem back here. I got one guy out here doing some trail running. Yeah, but one of the problems with those four-wheelers deals with those frogs we see every spring. They like to drive through those puddles, but then they kill the frogs and squish the eggs and stuff. So it becomes a problem. Anyway, speaking of which, those frogs are currently, a lot of them are buried in the woods here. They burrow themselves in the ground over winter. And in the spring, they burrow out and make their way down this hill to those puddles along the road where they'll mate and lay their eggs. And then they'll come back up here in the woods. And you hardly see them the rest of the year. They're very well camouflaged. Yeah, it's definitely a winter wonderland. Some nasty weather coming though. Next 3 days are gonna be so, like those 20 to 30 mile an hour winds blowing. It's gonna be cold. Not my favorite type of weather. But today's not so bad. Yeah, more of those four-wheelers coming down the road there. Illegally, like I said. Anyway. You know, there's a bunch of them down there. Nothing against four-wheelers, they can be fun, but when you do illegal stuff like this, it ruins it for others. Like, there are places where you can Like I was just recently in the Allegheny National Forest, and they have, even like at other places like Michoud State Forest, they have designated four-wheeler trails where you can enjoy riding a four-wheeler, you know, legally. Besides, you know, on private property and other places, but when people do it illegally, it gives the whole, you know, it gives a bad, what am I thinking? A bad reputation for it. Just kind of ruins it for people who are trying to do it legally. Sometimes you get a bad name. So anyway, enough of that. They are kind of ruining my peaceful hike a little bit. But yeah, not like I said. Don't get mad at me. I'm not bashing four-wheelers. They can be fun, but just like I said, keep it legal. All right, but back to our peaceful hike in the snow. If you hike this trail in February, you can hear the snow geese. That lake that they're at is way down that way, but you can usually, even up here, you can hear them. That's our first, that's always our first sign of spring. And a lot of times the lake is still frozen, there might be still snow up here, but the snow geese arrive. Still making our way up, not too much further. It's not a really long trail. Just a nice short one though to hike on a nice snowy day though. It's a little rocky. It's kind of hard to see the rocks underneath the snow. You're starting to get a view through the trees there. You know, I feel like I can hear. I don't know. Like the lake's out there. I almost felt like I heard, well, not felt. Like I could hear the tundra swans. Maybe I'm just imagining things. I don't think they'd be out here this early. I don't know, I might have to stop and take a look actually. They have a distinctive sound they make. Because now I'm not hearing it anyway, probably just imagining things. But who knows? I mean that trail, what's it called? Willow Point Trail, it's just down there. We'll see, maybe on the way back we'll hike down there. Yeah, we're at the top here. And the reason it's called the Millstone Trail is up here. I've filmed up here before, and if you hike up here, you know, there's an old millstone up here. Kind of an odd place to find one, unless you know the story behind it, but. I'm definitely hearing something down there. I don't know if the camera's picking at it, but it's pretty way down there. When I'm done with this trail, I'm gonna make my way down to that, what's it called, the Willow Point Trail. I don't know if I'll make a video. If there's nothing out there, I won't make a video, but I'm sure I'm hearing tundra swans out there. I'm almost positive. Anyway. Maybe there's, yeah. Maybe some of them are overwintering here. Anyway, I'm gonna check that out later. But back to this trail. I'm not hearing things. I'm definitely hearing, that sounds like tundra swans. Because there is a more sheltered cove in that lake that they tend to hang out, even when all the snow geese are here, down there. The tundra swans tend to hang out in the one more sheltered area. A little harder to film them over there, but. When we get to the overview, the overlook up here, I might be able to point that out better. Well, that'll be cool if they're out there. Get to film them here in January. I almost walked right past it here in the snow. But yeah, there's an old millstone up here. It's covered in snow. That kind of hides the one defect in it. You might be wondering, why is this up here? Oh, you can see the crack right there on the side. I don't know if that's showing up. There's a crack right there. And that's the reason it's up here. So they were making millstones up here, I guess back in the 1800s, using the rock up here. They'd chisel them out up here, and I guess then roll them down the mountain somehow in a controlled manner. But this one, near finishing, it cracked, and it was no longer of use, so they left it up here. Imagine that, you know, all the work to carve this out, even that hole in the middle, all by hand, just to have it crack or break, and you have to leave it up here. So, but it is just kind of a cool relic of a bygone era. I knew this was up here for some time. I'd been up here other times, so I never knew why it was up here until someone told me the story about it. I guess I never really noticed the crack, and when the snow is off, you can see the crack going across the top too. But yeah, that's why it's up here. And there's another one of these on the other mountain over there. A viewer told me about one time, and it took me several tries to find it, but we did. It's smaller than this one. That one was never finished. It's still kind of attached to its parent rock. We might go check that one out again sometime. But yeah, this one's it's pretty cool. All right, so the overlook is that way, so let's get going. And here's the overlook. You just passed in our family. Well, my first family. The other guy was just a trail runner, but I think all the kids in the area have off school today because of the snow, even though it's not a whole lot, but yeah, I can hear them. That's kind of the way it is these days. I feel like back when we were in school, they wouldn't have canceled for today, but yeah, so down there is the lake. Let me zoom in on it for you. Right down there. You can see part of it. Most everything that's white down there is the lake, just iced over. So, like the tundra swans, there's the main lake, there's a little cove out that way that they hang out at. At least in February they do when I come to look at the snow geese. There's always tundra swans here, but because I don't hear them, but yeah. I just thought I did there, but who knows? Maybe they're they sound like tundra swans. There could be some geese down there, the Canadian geese, but this view is going to need a little bit of trimming though too. There's a lot of these smaller trees are growing up. When they leaf out, that they're going to start hiding that view. So got to trim these guys down soon again. All right, well let's time to hit the other side of the trail, going back down. Hey, but up here is a familiar friend. Well, not quite, but it's the horseshoe trail. At least there's a sign for it. Oops, slip here, but yeah. Yeah, so this takes you to the horseshoe trail, which is more down here this way. Well, we did that section some time ago. If you follow my channel, we hiked the whole, what was it, like 140 miles of that. But we're gonna continue on here, the Millstone Trail. Looks like only one person came up this way, probably that trail runner. A lot of people are coming from that way, see all the footsteps, so. All right. This will take us back down to where we parked. All right, now we are making our way down the mountain. Kind of came over a little bit of saddle, but I think I'm hearing Canada geese right now down there, but we'll see. I'm hoping there are tundra swans down there, but like I'm gonna go down there and find out. Just gotta be careful I don't rush down the mountain here. I just think it'd be super cool if they're out there. If they're not, I might not upload that video, but we'll see. But tundra swans have a distinctly different sound than the Canada geese do. So I've heard tundra swans enough times when I've been here to know what they sound like. So anyway, alright, I should probably watch where I'm going. Yeah, but besides the four-wheelers and a few human encounters, this has been a relatively peaceful hike. So it's kind of nice. I mean, I look forward to spring once again to hear all the bird songs and all that kind of stuff. Waiting for those sounds. Of course, I hear a few. The geese and maybe some swans down there, but I mean, you can still hear bird songs in winter. Yeah, on cue, there's a couple there. There's a bird just flying up. Oh, it's a nuthatch. Is he gonna pose for us in that tree? Oh no, he's gonna fly off. But he's over the tree over there now. I wonder if I can catch him on camera there. Oh, there he is, I got him. White-breasted nuthatch. Cool. Looking for food. Oh, there he goes. Well, that worked out. I was talking about birds and bird songs, and then on cue, the little nuthatch shows up. Not singing for us. Nuthatches don't really sing. They make a distinctive... I'm not going to try and imitate it, but... Yeah, you can come across every now and then... the woods can be really quiet, but the winter birds, they travel in interspecies flocks. The chickadees, the titmice, the nuthatches, some sparrows, certain woodpeckers, they all travel together in a winter flock. It's kind of cool when one shows up like that. They're all together. All of a sudden, it was really quiet, and all these little, some of them do sing, have some winter songs they sing. A lot of chipping and chirping activity all of a sudden. And then they move on, and it gets real quiet again. And just like that, down there's the road. And then our parking area was just up there, so we're almost back. But as always, thanks for coming along with me on this snowy little hike. Actually a beautiful hike. Actually no wind today. Like I said earlier, it's gonna be, yesterday was super windy, today's nice, tomorrow, next 3 days are gonna be awful. Yeah, I mean, I just like really blustery days. But anyway, that's the way winter is sometimes. Alright, but like I said, I'm gonna go down and check out that Willow Point Trail to see if indeed there are some tundra swans out there. So you might see that video, you might not, depending on what I find. Alright, but like I said, thanks for coming along.